Imagine a point of sales tool that has everything you need to present, choose, and sell annuities all in one place at your fingertips. Because that's what Annuities Genius is. Today, I'm going to go over every single tool that we feature on the platform, and I'm going to show you how it works and how to use it. So when you log in, it's going to bring you to your dashboard. This is the first thing that you're going to see. Here you can have all of your tools that you see on the left-hand side. All right, you're going to have your existing client that's already in there. You can create a new client. Your existing client's information will also be up at the top left, where you have access to your client's details, which brings you to their file in your CRM system. You can go to edit, where you can immediately edit the information for your client. You can select another client, or you can also create a new client right here as well. Over on the far right is you have your settings. So anytime you need to update a payment information, you want to put your logo on the reports or up at the top left of your dashboard, all of that is going to be done in your settings. When you click your settings, the first thing that you're going to see is you can upload your logo and your profile photo. Now, if you want to upgrade your subscription, you can go from Prime yearly to Prime monthly. If you want to update your payment information, you can update it here. Make sure that you click update. And anytime you want to look at the invoices, maybe you want to send that invoice to someone who's paying for the subscription, all of the invoices are going to be right below here in PDF form. Now going back to the dashboard here, if you're not contracted to sell every single carrier and every single product, you're going to want to be able to filter out those carriers and those products. So the way you do that is you can create your own product decks. Up here is where you do that. So right now it says that we're in all products. If we go to manage product decks, then we're going to then create a new product deck. You can create up to 2,000 and you can name them whatever you want. So I'm going to make myself one here, put my last name, click create. And the way that you create it is you select the carriers that you want to present. Okay, then you can deselect the products within that carrier that you don't want to present. All right, you don't need to do any kind of saving or any kind of record keeping on this. It's automatically going to be saved for you. So whenever you go to another tool now, you're going to see this all products change to the product deck that we currently just made. So now we're in the product deck that we made. We can see we're only showing that one carrier. Now if we go back up to the top and we want to change something in that product deck, you can go to manage product deck. You scroll all the way down to the one that we just created. And now you can add a carrier or take away a carrier, add a product, take away a product. So now when we go back to these tools, now we're showing 2 products. If you want to change to a different product deck, you go to select another. All right, now you can go back to any product deck that you've created. Now we can see that we're back into all products. Now again, all of your tools are going to be on your dashboard here on the left-hand side in the blue. All of them have drop-down arrows, and you can go to each individual tool on your toolbar. When you're inside a tool, it's going to look like this. Okay, but you can still run your mouse through it to see which, market tools or calculators. But now we're going to get into the individual tools. So we're just going to start from the top. We're going to start with the Growth Analyzer tool. All right, the Growth Analyzer tool, starting up at the top left, has 2 different backtesting modes. You have the recent NAIC mode, which is the last 10 years. It's defined to the end of the prior December 31st. And then you have most recent mode. That's going to be the last 10 years defined to the end of the first day of the last month. Now you can search for fixed indexed annuities, or you can search for index-linked annuities in this tool. You can sort this information by 10, best or worst, 15 or 20 years performance. If you search it by 15 performance years, then that means everything's going to be sorted by this column right here. All right, this is the 15-year average column. If you sort it by the 10 years performance, then it's going to search it by this column right here. In fact, it's searching it by this number. All right, that's the 10-year average. You have the high period in green and the low period in red. Now, you do have filters here. So if you want to look up a carrier in the filter, your client's information will populate in. You can filter out by ratings. You can even filter out by the index ages. So if you want to look at indexes that have, been around for 10 plus years, you just click 10 plus or whatever year you desire. Now you can also filter out if you want there to be no caps. Okay, everything is just one click away. You want no spread, no account fees, everything you can click and it's going to filter out for you. Now you can also do that for surrender charges, like if you want to look at only 7, 8, 9, and 10 years. You can look up averaging types, you can look up rest periods, you can even filter out by the indexes themselves. Now, once you put in all that information, for your client, you're going to be able to see the carriers in this column with their rating and their logo. You'll be able to see the products that they're using. In fact, you can click on the products, and this is going to bring up your product sheet. Okay, this has all the information on the product. So it has all of the allocation options. It has information like premium payments and age restrictions. You have the carrier's information. You got the phone number, the link to the website, when they were founded, the provisions and waivers, withdrawals, and the surrender schedule. Now, all of this information can be printed out, and whenever you click print, it's going to automatically record keep it under your client's file in your CRM system, and I'll show you where that's at the end. But it's also going to put it into a nice illustration with your client's name, your name, the date that it was prepared, and then you get all of that information that we saw on the product sheet. Now going back here, underneath is where you're going to see all of the information for the index. So it's got a 10-year surrender, biannual reset, participation rate 90%. They're using this index. We can see it's a point-to-point with participation. All right, you can always filter out. So if you had caps and spreads in here, you would also see that information, account fees. All right, we can see this one has, let's find one. This one has a performance trigger, 3%. All right, you're going to see all of that information underneath. Now, what you can do from here is up at the top, you see that we're showing the top 40. If you want to put the top 10 in the report, you can do that. If you want to exclude all of them, you can choose then the ones that you want to put into the report, or you can include all of them. All right. Whenever you want to run the report, you go over to the right, click on report. Again, it's going to be record kept for you, and it puts it into a nice illustration for you as well. Now, what you want to do is you want to eventually back test this stuff. And so that's going to be these green buttons right here that say back test. Okay, you can also compare, products side by side. So anytime you click compare, you're going to see it show up in the side by side over here. So when we click compare on these, you're going to see them start showing up over there. You can compare up to 8 companies at a time. Then when you go over to view, it's going to put them in a side-by-side comparison. All right, you're going to get all the product comparisons up at the top, and then you'll start to see the actual performances comparisons. When you click print, Again, it's going to be record kept for you. Puts it into a nice illustration. And these are just PDF files, so you can send these out to them via email, text message. You can send them out and mail them if you want to print it out and give them a hard copy. Whatever works best for you. Now let's go ahead and move on to the next tool. Okay, over on the left hand side you can see we have all of our tools. We're going to go down to the Index Indicator tool. Now the Index Indicator tool, this allows you to see all of the indice performances in real time. Okay, you can see the indexes here on the left hand side. You can see the time frames over on the right. So if you want to search by what was in 2019, you click it once to see worst to best. You click it twice to give it best to worst. Or if you want to do it for 5 years or even 10 years. Okay, worst to best, best to worst. Over on the indexes, you can see the launch date of the index. You can see the index ticker in blue, which again you can click on. It's going to bring you to the index ticker. That way you and your client can both see the information in real time. You can click on the Accounts button, and that's going to take you back to the Growth Analyzer tool, and it's going to show you only that index in the annuities. This one has 26 that are available, and which one would be the best as far as performance. Now also in here you can do the same thing. Click top 10. You can exclude all of them, or you can include all of them, and that's going to have to do with what one's going to be in the report. Alright, we've also added this where you can select the range. So if you want to look at like this month or last month or this year, if we do last month and we want to do the 13th to the 30th, let's say, we click apply, and then it's going to show us from these dates which one was performing the best on the far right column. Okay, you can click it and it's going to organize it, worst to best and then best to worst. Alright, you can also look up index linked in here as well, or you can look up fixed index. Now on the far right we have it as a default to hide indexes with no accounts available. If we add, or if we take away that check mark, then it's going to give us accounts like kind of like this one. This one has 0 accounts available, but if we click it, it's only going to show us indexes that have accounts that are available. You can also look up an index in the filter. Now moving to the next tool, we're going to go to the Backtest Historian. The Backtest Historian is where you do all of your backtesting. These are hypothetical backtests. You put the state, you put the premium, you can select your mode, recent NAIC, most recent, or manual. When you do manual, you can select the end date, and then it's going to backtest 10 years. So if you want to do like 2017 of April 22nd, let's say. Okay, April 22nd, 2017, backtesting to April 22nd, 2007. Alright, you can select the company. You can select the product. You can click Proceed to Allocations. This is going to show you predefined allocation strategies. Alright, as you can see, you see the index, how much they're allocating, and then what this particular strategy's average rate of return is in black, with the high and the low periods in green and red. You can click or hover your mouse over the rate of return. You can see combined annual compound rate of return over the select 10-year period. This is the selected 10-year period. Now you can also click on Custom, which brings up all of the indexes available within this product, and then you can allocate whatever strategy you want. You can also click on indices that have no fees, or you can click on indices that only have live data. So it's only going to show you indices that have an actual 10-year historical for the time period that you're selecting. After we select an allocation strategy, we'll be able to see the allocation strategy here. Alright, we can see a total quick overview where you can drag your mouse over it, see the performances in the blue box. You can also click on, like S&P if you don't want to show it, or the accumulation value. You have the historical index performance, which compares just the raw index to the S&P. And then you have the hypothetical annuity values. Okay, this credited interest rate is taken into consideration whatever the caps, participation rates, spreads, all that kind of stuff at the current day that you're searching it. So if we're searching it today, then it's going to take all of those caps, spreads, and all those rates, and it's going to assume those rates back 10 years. Okay, so you could say if it performed like this the past 10 years, this is what it would be. Alright, we're doing the same thing here for the indice performance, where you can see the most recent high and low period, and you can see it in a graph as well. Alright, going back up to the top, you have annuity details. This brings up your product sheet. Okay, remember where you can, go to info, product brochure, carrier's information, print this out. You have print report for the entire historical report. Right, that way we can illustrate everything that we just saw on the historian tool. Alright, that's your backtest historian tool. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. It's going to be your Fia Solver Tool. Okay, the Fia Solver Tool is where you're going to want to illustrate what this product can do for your client, and you can solve the problems right there in front of them. So we can take a product, let's say we take this product here, product, alright, it's got a guaranteed lifetime withdrawal benefit. Alright, we can select an indice. Let's see, let's choose this Barclays Atlas. So what this is going to do is we're going to be able to find out whatever it is the client wants to find out. All right, let's say this client has $350,000. All right, and they want to start the withdrawals. Let's see, it's assumed 59, so they want to start the withdrawals in 10 years. All right, so what this is saying to them is you're contributing $350,000 into a fixed index annuity. If the annuity generates a 9.45 average annual rate of return to start withdrawals at age 69 and ending the withdrawals at age 95, you will be able to withdraw $90,217 annually, $7,518 monthly. Now, this is a best case scenario because we know it's not going to perform at a 9.45% every single year. Okay, but this is a best case scenario. You can see the chart that shows the money going in. At age 69, the money going out as the account value goes down to 0. And you'll see that in this chart as well. You can print out this report. All right, it's going to say Solver Report on here. It's going to give you all of the annuity details and parameters, the total values. It gives you that summary in the orange. And then it's going to show you the chart and tab form as well. Then what you can do is go back up and say, okay, initial contribution amount. We can ask them, how much do you want to be able to withdraw on a yearly basis? And let's say they tell you, well, I want to withdraw $45,000 a year. Okay, so now we're going to put into the annual withdrawal amount $45,000. All right, and it's going to tell us, given that annuity generates 9.45 on an annual rate average, to start the withdrawals, To start withdrawing $45,000 annually at age 69 and ending the withdrawals at age 95, you will need to contribute $174,000. So again, that's best case scenario. All right, you can print out that report if you want, and then go to the next one. Needed annuity rate of return. Okay, now we're going to put back this $350,000 because that was their initial investment. All right, so now we can tell them that even though this has a 9.45 average, best case scenario, to get $45,000 a year, the index would actually need to produce at a 5.64%. All right, if you have $350,000 starting withdrawals at age 69. So this gives a more realistic view of what the annuity could perform for them. At this point, a lot of people might be inclined to say, well, I have a little bit more than $350,000. I actually have, $500,000. What does that do? Well, let's see. Realistically, it would need to produce at a 3.86%. All right, but if we go back up, best case scenario, you could, accumulate $120,000. Okay, if it does produce at a 9.45%. All right, so it's just a great way to illustrate the annuity, really be able to do that work in front of them. And I think it's a great tool. So now going over to the annuity transition tool. All right, this is if your client currently has a variable annuity. You can compare it side by side to a fixed indexed annuity. So let's say your client has this company with this product. You would then input the charges manually from your client's last statement. We can say, the issued year 2000. We'll say the statement year is 2019. Initial premium, we'll say it was $100,000. 0 withdrawals, and we'll say it was that $350,000 for the account value now. We click Analyze Performance. You'll see the gross rate of return, the fees and total growth, and the net rate of return. Then you'll see it in a graph as well. Now we're going to click Compare. We're going to choose a company that we're going to find either Growth Analyzer tool, database tool, whatever tool you're going to use to find out which company is going to work best for them, and then compare it. So let's say we chose, let's choose that company that we used in the Solver tool. All right, we'll keep that product. I believe it was this one right here. Remember the 130% participation. Click 100%. Apply. We can see the recent best and worst periods of the return. We can see that the guaranteed lifetime withdrawal is selected for us. And now we'll set the life expectancy. And you'll be able to see a side-by-side comparison of the variable annuity to the fixed indexed annuity. All right, gross rate of return, projected fees, account value in 2053. All right, that's because we set the life expectancy here. All right, and then you'll see those projections here as well. This can also be put into a report. Now everything is going to be record kept for them. And you can go over a transition report where it gives you an overview of the current annuity details, and then it gives you an overview of the alternative that you're recommending. Shows you the performance of the current annuity, and then a side-by-side projected performance. All right, very powerful tool. We have a lot of agents that really utilize this tool very well. And so, it's just another tool in your tool bag. Next one we're going to look at is the quote run tool. All right, the quote run tool can also be accessed from other tools. Okay, this is where you would want to do an illustration of the company, product, and index. So let's go ahead and just, we can select the company here. You select the product here. When you click from another tool, all of this information is going to be dragged over for you as far as client's information. You can do non-qualified or qualified money. When it's qualified, you can choose where the money's at, 401k or IRA. The premium will filter in. You'll be able to see the predefined allocation strategies, or you can click on custom. You can click on one of them. Let's just choose this one. You'll have the options, if there are options between riders, and flexibility. Single or joint. And then you can choose free annual withdrawals, systematic annual withdrawals with the amount in the years from and to, and then you can choose as many as you want. Or you can do lifetime withdrawals. Alright, puts the deferral age in there for you. You click generate report. And this is an illustrated report of this product. Alright, it gives you an overview of the strategy. It's going to show you guaranteed values. Then it's going to show you the projected hypothetical values, because I believe this one has that increasing income feature. So you'll see that increasing income in this middle column here. And then you'll get the indice performances, most recent high and low periods, and then product information. All right, of course, at the very bottom, you'll have our disclosure. Remember, this supplemental report is not valid unless accompanied by a complete product illustration and/or disclosure document from the respective insurer. All right, so that is it for market tools. Okay, we went through Growth Analyzer, Index Indicator, Backtest Historian, Fia Solver, Annuity Transition Tool, and the Quote Run tool. Okay, that is it for the market tools. Now we're going to go over your rider calculators. So under rider calculators, we're going to start with the guaranteed income. Okay, your client's information will populate in automatically. If you want to file for joint, just put the spouse's age. You can look up a rider or a carrier in the quick filter, and you can filter out by ratings, premium bonuses, flexibility, and surrender years. Now you have different categories of riders. So you have your increasing income riders, interest multipliers, doublers, no fees, and guaranteed. Now when you scroll down here, you're going to notice a difference. We've added two different formats. So you can get a simple table format like this, or you can get list format, which is what it normally is. So, you got table format, it's very simple. All right, it gives you the yearly income. You can download the report right here, or you can go to list and you can see the list of all of them right here and click on reports. Now this is where you defer income. You drag this white ball back and forth to the desired year. Let's say he wants to defer income for 10 years. Put it right there on number 10. He's going to start receiving income on contract year 11 at age 69. Now, same thing, you can put top 10 in the report. You can exclude all of them and then choose the ones that you want, or you can include all of them. We're going to have you put the top 25 in the report when you include all, and then you just click print report. All right, it's going to put a nice cover page on there with your client's name, your name, and the date that it was prepared, and it's going to show you all the riders from best to worst. Now going back here in the actual format, you can see the carrier's name, their rating, their logo. You can see the product that they're using. You can see the guaranteed annual income. You can see compound roll-up rates, income-based bonuses, if there's any fees. You can click on the annuity. All right, this is going to bring up the product sheet again. All right, info, product brochure, carrier's information, provisions and waivers, withdrawals, surrenders. Now, let's say you're looking at this $40,000 guaranteed income, and your client says that they need a minimum of $45,000 annually. We can go to show more details because there's a few things we can do. It's going to show you product information, but then it's going to show you this chart. So if they need $45,000 a year, that means we can go to $45,000 here. They would need to defer payments to age 72. Okay, we can also see that illustrated right here as well. Age 72, they would defer payments for 14 years. Now, that's if they don't want to put anything in or anything else more than what they're already putting in for an initial investment. So, if they want to say, well, I need $45,000 a year, what's the premium that I would need to put in? Now, instead of solving for income, we're going to solve for the premium. So we click premium, we're going to keep it on the yearly, and we're going to put $45,000 as the required annual income. Now what this is going to show you is the initial premium they would need to get $45,000 a year at a 10-year deferral. Okay, so it's just working the same problem just backwards. And you can also see this in list format as well. Whenever you click the individual reports on here, or the reports that you see here, it's going to do an individual rider report, and it's going to include that chart. All right, so that's the guaranteed income rider calculator. Also, one more thing, slowly but surely we're going to start adding it, but you can see this illustrate button. Okay, the illustrate button is going to take you to the quote run tool, where you can run an illustration right from here. All right, so whenever you click it, it's going to take you right there. It's going to drag in all the information, company, product, client's information, and you just follow the steps. Remember, you're taking them through this right here. All right, now the next calculator that you have is the projected income calculator. I'm going to exit out of some of these tabs here. All right, the projected income calculator is specifically for these riders right here, increasing income and interest multipliers. All right, increasing income means that the income can grow after the lifetime payments begin. Interest multipliers, the income can be higher due to the interest gain. So when you see it, client's information populates in just like the other tool. You have the filters just like you do for the other tool. You can defer payments just like you did on the other calculator. This one, however, you can set when you want the last withdrawals to occur. And then you have your allocation modes. All right, so if we have S&P as our allocation mode selected, what that means is all of the carriers are now going to be assuming the annual rate of return of the S&P index. So they're all going to be using the same index, and it's going to be sorted by the total lifetime withdrawals. Now, if we choose a different mode like top performing account for recent calendar years, now it's going to be assuming the annual rate of return of the carrier's top performing index. All right, you can see the information below: surrenders, participations, resets. You can see all the information that you would get on the other calculator: compound roll-ups, fees. You can see the ending accumulation value, and then you can illustrate that. When you go to show more details, you'll be able to see the age of the client, the assumed interest rate, accumulation value, fees, death benefits, income base, the guaranteed minimum withdrawal, and then the increasing income story on the far right. All right, and then up here you have client details where you can bring up the product sheet. And then you have illustrate. Again, illustrate's going to just drag everything over into the quote run tool. All right, that's the projected income calculator, and those are your two calculators. You're going to be getting a third one soon, hopefully by the end of this year, 2020. But for now, these are the two that you have. Now we're going to get into your database. All right, the Annuities Database. We're going to start with the carriers. So this is if you want to do a personalized carrier report. Okay? You can run a personalized carrier report for any carrier. Now, you got to make sure your state's selected, premium is selected, and the annuitant's age is selected. You can also include the income riders calculations. So you click that, you put the deferred years, and you select the type, male, female, or joint. If it's joint, you put the spouse's age. Now, everything that's going to be in the report is right here. All right, so we can choose one. Let's choose this one here, AIG. We're going to download the report, and it's going to take all the reports from all the other tools, and it's going to put it into one personalized carrier report. So we can see the top performing allocations for the recent NAIC mode. This is from the Growth Analyzer tool. You'll also be able to see them from the most recent mode. Remember, back testing from July 1st, 2020, also from the Analyzer tool. You'll have the income riders quick overview from the Rider Calculators. You'll also get that detailed view as well in the same order. And then you'll have the available indice performances from the Index Indicator tool. So you get tab form and you get it in a graph. Then you'll get an overview of the annuities themselves. Fixed index annuities, MYGAs, you get them all. All right, this is for the personalized carrier reports. If you want to just look at, let's say, the fixed indexed annuities, well, that's going to be in this column. You can actually click on the number. So when you click on the number, it's going to take you to the FIA database, but it's only going to show you, in this case, these 10 products from this carrier. Okay, let's go ahead and go into the fixed index database here. It's going to be right below carriers. Now, this is to find the best product for your client. Okay, if someone's just looking for income, that's, kind of simple. If someone's just looking for growth, accumulation, that's going to be kind of simple. But if you need a product that, I need a good rate of return, maybe I also need a premium bonus on there to cover any penalties. There's just certain things that you need to find that is a little bit more than just income or growth. So this is the tool that you're going to be able to find that right product for your client. So you have the client's information up at the top. If it's qualified money, you can select where those funds are at. Premium and age will filter in for you. These filters are for the allocations. So if you want there to be no fees and you want it to be, uncapped, then you just click them. All right. You also have the sort by on the left-hand side here. This is how this information is being sorted. So right now it's being sorted by the rate of return. So we can see the rate of return right here. All right. If we sort it by, something else like the fixed rates, then it's going to show the highest fixed rates up at the top. All right, if we want to filter out by, bonuses or caps, okay, you want to find the highest cap. Now it's going to show the highest cap up at the top. Now you also have this sort by, okay, that means this is what it's going to be sorting all the information by. So right now we have it set for rate of return. All right, which means the highest rate of return is going to be up at the top. If you want to sort the information by like fixed rates, then it's going to show you the highest fixed rate up at the top. All right, if we want to search it by caps, well, we got to click out of this uncapped filter, and we'll filter it out by the caps. Then you're going to see the highest caps up at the top. This one has a 24% cap. All right, you also have other filters here as well. You can look up a product or a carrier. You can filter out by premium bonuses, filter out by writers, ratings, free withdrawals, flexibility, MVA and ROP. You can also do for account types. Okay, you can select like if you want to just point to point. You have the surrender years. So if you want to look at only like 7, 8, 9, and 10 years. You have averaging types. So if you wanted only annual sum. Internet's kind of slow, but it's doing a lot of work. Let's give it a little time to catch up with us. Annual sum. You can even do it for reset periods. You can also do it for reset periods as well. Okay, you can even click on indexes, and then you can search by the indexes themselves, similar to the Growth Analyzer tool. Now, once you do all that, you can always click reset if you don't want to, put those filters in anymore and you just want to change it all over. You also have selected strategies up here. So if you want to look at, for instance, S&P annual point-to-point with participation rates, you can select it. It's going to put in those predefined filters for you, like, no spread, uncapped. Looks like we have, any free withdrawals, doesn't have anything selected there. It's sorting it by the participation rate. So it just does it all for you there. Now, what you're able to do here is you can compare companies side by side just by clicking the compare button. All right, you'll see them populate on the left-hand side. Just like the other tools, you can compare up to 8 companies at a time. You can go over and click view. You get a side-by-side comparison. You can also click print to put it into an illustration and record keep it. You can click on report, which is just going to bring up your product report. This report button is the same one as if you were to bring up the details and click print. So you can either bring up the details and click print, or you can just click on report. Now you can also click on the historian tool. What that's going to do, it's going to bring over the product for you. So if we click it, it brings it into the historian tool where it selects the carrier and the product. Then it shows you those predefined allocation strategies, or you can click on custom, choose a strategy of your choice. You can also click on illustrate, which again is going to bring it into our quote run tool. All right, you'll get the company, the product, and your client's information. You just take them through the steps. You can see allocation options. All right, if it has rider options, like if we select has a income rider, you'll be able to see the rider options here. All right, you can click on payouts, give you those payouts, or you can click on calculate. And this is going to take you to the income rider calculator, but it's only going to plug in that information. I think we have to defer payments here. There we go. And so it's going to bring up that exact rider. All right, so this is your FIA database. If you want to print out this entire page, you just go right here to print page. All right, it's going to bring up your printer information. It'll load it for you, and you can print out this entire page if you wanted. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next one. It's the index linked annuities. All right, the index linked annuities is going to have the same format as the fixed indexed annuities. Okay, so same features up at the top, Same filters for the allocations, same, selected strategies, sort bys, filters, all that stuff. Let's go to the traditional fixed annuities. So this one, you do get two different formats like the calculator. So you have list and table. Table format's just a simple readout across the board. List format gives you a little bit more to look at. You can sort this information, interest rates, free withdrawals. You have filters here, so you can put it in, a product or a carrier, surrender periods, guaranteed years, ratings. You can look up types, single with additional, MBA, ROP. This one is pretty cool because now you can calculate the fixed traditional. So if we click on calculate, here it shows the premium and the assumed rate of return. And we can see here that calculated, and you can see that in this format, guaranteed. And then you have the assumed renewal rate. So if we want to see what the assumed renewal rate would be, this is showing the minimum here of 2%. Well, what if it was, performing at a 2.5%? Okay, when we put 2.5, now it's going to show us what a 2.5 interest rate would be. All right, you also see it in a graph here as well. All right, you can always click on product details, brings up the product sheet, and then you can click on print report as well. Puts it into a nice illustration, record keeps it for you, and it gives you that graph. All right, this is the traditional fixed. You can click compare just like you do on the other tools to do side-by-side comparisons. And you can print out this entire page as well. Let's look at the multi-year guarantees. Multi-year guarantees is going to have the same format as the traditional fixed. You have list or table. Same filters as far as sorting by and surrender periods and ratings. Same filters up here for qualified or non-qualified money. This one you also have the calculate button as well. This one you can see the premium, and then you can see what that would look like as far as your earnings on a yearly basis. All right, if they say, okay, well, what does it look like if I put 500,000 in there? Well, now we can show them what it looks like with 500,000 and what the earnings would be. All right, this is just stuff that you're able to do on the fly. Okay, if you prepare all this illustrations for them and you go to present it, and then they tell you, well, I want to change this or I want to change that, it doesn't matter. You can print out the report for both of them if you wanted to. All right, you can do it within seconds. All right, that's going to be your annuities database. SPIAs, variable annuities, Nexus products, life insurance like IULs and VULs, those are all going to be coming soon. By the end of 2020, this database will be completely full. All right, so definitely look forward to that. Now the next thing that we're going to look into is going to be your client management. So we're going to be looking at your CRM system, your websites, and leads. So first thing we're going to look at is the client management system, the CRM. So all of your clients are going to be nice and organized for you. All right, you can click on them. You can create a new client here. You can search for a client by name. If your client is already selected in the current client at the top, you can just click on details. All right, this is going to take you to your client's file in your CRM system. All right, inside here you can see under records, everything that you do is going to be record kept. All right, you can see it's time stamped, date stamped. You can see what product deck you were in. You can see the tool link, so you can actually go right back to the tool. You can even download the report that you went over with them, even if it's 5 years from now. You can sort this by the tools that you use. So if you want to look at only, writer calculator reports, then it's only going to show you the writer calculator reports. You can leave notes for yourself using your dictaphone. Okay, you just click record. It's going to record what you say. You can go over it with your client. You can have your client say, yes, he went over everything with me, liked everything that he did with Annuities Genius. You can click pause. You can start recording again. And then whenever you're done, you just click this little square. It's going to record it for you. So now if we click refresh, you're going to see this 11 go to 12. All right, and now we're going to have an audio recording, which you can download and listen to. You can leave notes for yourself. You can set tasks for yourself. You can even set when you want to be reminded, so it'll give you an email notification. You also have facts. So this is the best interest consumer suitability profile. All right, this is the questionnaire. You can run the questionnaire, and you can do this with them over the phone if you want. You could also send this to them. So if you want to send this to them and they fill it out on their own time, you go to share public link. It's going to copy the link for you. Then you can send it to them, via email. When they click on that link, it's going to bring up their profile and they can fill it out. Once they fill it out and they click save, it's going to automatically update into your client's profile. Okay, you'll get an email notification letting you know that it's been completed. Okay, and I'll show you what that looks like. I have one here selected. Click on details. So this is what it's going to look like when it's filled out. As you can see, you have all of their, financial profile, retirement planning, main financial objectives. You can put this into a report, and this is also record kept for you. All right, that way you can put your company logo on here and you can give this to your client. And then my favorite part about this is when we go to your dashboard, what it looks like. But first, if you ever need to update information in your client's file, you just go to edit. All right, and it's going to bring up your client's information. Investment types, if they want to change their initial investment, secondary phone numbers, best time to call, their email, address, if they move, whatever you need to update, it's going to be in here. But when you fill out the questionnaire, okay, and you go back to your dashboard, right on the front of your screen is going to be all of their main financial objectives based on the profile that they filled out. Okay, what that does for a client is it shows them that you have their best interest at heart. Okay, and even as you're going through and picking a product for them, or recommending a product, I should say, you can go through and say, look, does this give you long-term disability coverage? Check. Okay, I see here you want to be able to pass this on to your heirs. Check. All right, does this give me income later? Check. All right, again, visually, that promotes transparency, and it's going to gain you trust with every single prospect in front of you. Now, the next thing is going to be your website. So you do get two different websites. All right, we're going to show you the default one first. All right, this is a template that you can fill out. You put your phone number in the phone number section, Facebook in the Facebook section. Put the states you're licensed in, upload YouTube videos, put a little bio about yourself and a customer disclosure for compliance and suitability. Make sure you always click update whenever you make a change. And then this is what your website looks like. This is the default website. Okay, starting up here at the top, you have your link. This link is going to be the link to your website. So if you send that out in email blasts or Facebook or Instagram, anywhere that someone can click on that link, that way they can come to your website. All right, when they come to your website, they're going to fill out this information. Okay, when they fill out this information and they click Get Annuity Rates, that information is going to go two places. You're going to get an email notification letting you know to contact someone. Okay, and it'll give you a link. That link's going to take you to the file that's automatically created inside your CRM system. All right, you simply just click on their file, give them a call, do a screen share, and get them annuity rates. That's what they click the button for. All right, and the great thing about Annuities Genius, you can give them updated annuity rates on current rates, not just hypotheticals in the past. All right, this website is very professional looking. All right, you'll be able to put your picture here, your company logo, all the states that you're licensed in, and all of these are clickable if you fill out the correct information. All right, this is your default website. Next one's going to be your Rate Advantage website. This one you can choose a color that you want to be predominant on the website. I like blue. You can select a product deck. Okay, so the product decks that you create up here are going to be available right here. Okay, because you're going to be showing some rates on your website. So you want to be able to show the rates for the carriers and products that you're contracted with. You can then name the title of the product deck, and then you fill out the information just like you would the other ones. States you're licensed in, YouTube videos, all that stuff. Make sure you click update whenever you make a change. Click visit, and this is the Rate Advantage website and what it looks like. Okay, same thing. They fill out this information, you get an email notification, and it creates a file inside your CRM system. This gives you a lot of information on annuities. All right, what types of annuities are out there? You have, fixed index annuities, traditional fixed, multi-year guarantees. Anytime they click on Learn More, it's going to bring up that sheet for them to fill out. And then again, email notification creates a file inside your CRM system. All right, all of your information with your picture. All right, so that's your two websites, default and the Rate Advantage. Now the next thing we're going to look at in your client management is leads. So when you click on leads now, it's going to bring up a little disclosure. Pretty much you're leaving this Annuities Genius and you're going to the company that we've partnered up with. Okay, this is Dina Alvis with Elite Appointment Settings. Okay, they are a fantastic company, been in business for over 20 years. Okay, any company that's been in business for over 20 years doing the exact same thing every single year, I mean, it really tells you a lot about the company. So now you can go here, you can purchase leads right from the Annuities Genius platform just by clicking leads. All right, now we're going to get into your Rate Scout tool. So your Rate Scout tool can be accessed here on the toolbar or on your dashboard. We're going to have the upcoming rate updates as well. Okay, so you can access them either on the Rate Scout tool under fixed indexed annuities or just fixed annuities, or you can update or you can access them from the upcoming rate updates. When you click on them, it's going to show you what those updates are going to be and when they're going to take place. So this is happening on September 2nd. It looks like the fixed rate is going from 2.4% to 2.15%. All right, it's going down 0.25%. You can click on details. You can print out this for yourself. You can hover your mouse over it. Shows you what it's going down to. And again, this is just the product sheet. All right, so that's your Rate Scout tool. Next is Genius University. So the Genius University is where all of the education comes from. Okay, you're going to have all of the upcoming webinars that we do every Tuesday. You can register for them right here, or you can just click register now. All of those webinars are recorded. All right, so you'll be able to see those here. All right, the video that I'm actually recording right now for you guys is going to be right here. All right, this one's an old one, a full Annuities Genius walkthrough. So the video that I'm recording right now is going to be in this spot. And then you'll have all of the recorded webinars here. You also have all of the tool tutorial videos. So when you click on tool tutorial, it's going to give you a library of all the videos for each individual tool that we feature on our platform. Videos are anywhere from 4 to 6 minutes long. Just teaches you how to use the tool and how it works. You also have the 30-minute demo that you can register every single day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We do a 30-minute demo, and then we do about a 10 to 15-minute Q&A session at the end. And our Genius engagement team will always reach out to you later on that day if you're on that demo, just to make sure if you have any additional questions that they can answer them for you then. Next thing we're going to look at is your presentations. So now you can do a presentation in a PowerPoint form for your client. So let's say we have this presentation right here. You're going to get a lot more. We are working on a lot more, but for right now you have this one. All right, it's a PowerPoint, and it pretty much just goes through all of the benefits of an annuity, some of the disadvantages with an annuity. Shows you some mistakes and pitfalls that you can get yourself into if you're not cautious at recommending the right one. It tells you not all products are the same and not all advisors are the same. All right, you can see here #1 selling annuity, #1 performing annuity. Got to be able to explain that. All right, and you can upload your own presentations as well. So you can just go to Add New. All right, save the PowerPoint presentation to your desktop. That way you can just drag it in to the box when you go to Add New. You drag it right here into this box, create a title, click Create, and you'll have your presentation available right here inside Annuities Genius. All right, so going back up to the dashboard, I wanted to mention on every single tool that we feature, those tool tutorial buttons are also at the top right. Okay, so you can always click on how to use. A video will pop up on how to use the tool, and that way you have that access pretty quickly. We do have the upcoming webinars right here, and any kind of recent announcements like try the new personal website template, which is that Rate Advantage. You'll get those announcements right here. Okay, you guys, that is Annuities Genius. I know that this was a long video. If you stayed with us to the end, thank you so much. Learning how to use the tools is going to help you become an Annuities Genius. Okay, if you've been in the industry for 10 or 20 or 30 plus years, you know so much about annuities. All you need to do now is learn how to use the tools, because it's going to enhance everything you already know, because it's all in one spot at your fingertips. Okay, if you're just getting into the business and you're new to fixed indexed annuities, learning how to use these tools and asking questions about annuities is going to be the fastest way to learn. Okay, I'm going to tell you, it's what's today? It's August 21st, 2020. On February 16th was my interview to work here at Annuities Genius. I had no idea what an annuity was, what a fixed index annuity was, nothing. All right, everything that I've learned about fixed index annuities has been right here on this platform and asking questions when I have questions. Okay, but as long as I know how to use the tools, and as long as I know how to answer the question or ask a question, get that answer, and remember how to apply that when I'm going to be, recommending a product to a client, this is the new way to sell annuities. Okay, if you are a plumber, you need a tool bag, you need a tool truck. Okay, you're not always going to use every single tool in your tool bag, but every single tool in your tool bag will allow you to do the job at any given circumstance. That's what Annuities Genius does. Annuities Genius has 15 tools that allows you to close any sort of annuity case that comes your way. If you have any questions and this video or the tool tutorial videos or the webinars don't answer your questions, please give us a call. Okay, we've been working on this tool for 4 years. I haven't, but the programmers and David Novak and the developers, mathematicians, they've been putting this together for 4 years. If you have a question and are interested in learning how to use it, we are more than happy to bring you into the Annuities Genius family, and we will show you how to use the tool. Thank you guys again for joining us today. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys up at the top. Bye.